Internet, hello and welcome to My Hero Academia Season 2, Part 4, concluding the second season of My Hero Academia. Now, this is episodes 33 to 38 if you're looking at it from the macro of the whole series. It is obviously the end of the second season, so you can guess from there what we're going to be diving into. If you haven't seen all of the second season, somehow if you're even more far behind than I am, please stop watching because we will be getting into spoilers as we go along. But for now, we're going to give broad thoughts and then I'll get into my notes and then get into spoilers. My overall thoughts for My Hero Academia Season 2 is that I'm actually jarred by how consistent the show is, and that we're through 38 episodes now, and out of 38 episodes, there's probably 3 I didn't fully enjoy. Like, that 3 that didn't live to the same A caliber the rest have. 3 out of 38 is exceptional. This last quadrant of season 2 is probably an A- for me. That's so high in quality for any show, and we're very deep into this series. I'm so consistently impressed. I'm so consistently surprised. All of the first season, I kept talking about how it subverted expectations, how I kept expecting it to go one way and then it went another. Now, this fourth quadrant of season 2 is probably the most as you'd expect things to go, but it's, in doing that, surprising because you're like, oh, it actually is the thing we were pitched. There's a slight twist in the thing they're fighting in the tournament, but that's the expected twist, and then it's the characters are so well established and so well developed that when you're just to this point of the show, you just want to understand them more. And the way they do this is really clever in that the heroes fight the students, and you've got pairs of students against heroes that you've kind of met, kind of known, but some of the teachers, we didn't know their power sets. We didn't really know some of the teachers' personalities beyond just their personas that they've publicly put out there. We got to discover more about them that way. But most interestingly was the power dynamics that are so fun and comic book-like in teamwork. How powers work off of each other is something this show does really well. I've always loved that in the X-Men. There's even a Cannonball special in this arc. But I've always loved in the X-Men how people use their powers together to make each other stronger, and this show really leans into that. And there's also a cool element of when a villain is too powerful to run away and they effectively like grab, someone else to make the thing a possibility. So I like that, running away is a bad thing, obviously, in a fight, but sometimes it's a necessary thing in a fight, and they don't shy away from that on the show. I was really impressed with the fourth quarter of the season. This review, by the way, is for the great John Getz. John Getz was my very, very first patron. He also is in the Tater Tot tier, wherein you get to choose what I review. And he'd said something to the effect of like, oh yeah, this is, a bit of a filler arc, and then they get into some crazy stuff. There's some great character building. So I expected, talking. I expected a way more chill situation. Instead, we got another full-blown tournament. I love that the show is tournament-based. I love that this show is very much a school for gifted youngsters, if you will. And then there is, the broader strokes of the arcs in the show that build up to this and that. There's just so much that really, really works for the show. And I honestly hope that any sort of live-action X-Men gleans something from that. I really hope there's something to the effect of long-form arc-based storytelling in anything that we have from X-Men that can learn from this show, because I like the X-Men movies. Some of them are exceptional, some of them are just good, but they've all felt like mutant movies more than X-Men movies, and this show is a really solid blueprint for really good X-Men television that could lead to a great show to lead to big event movies. I've been so impressed. This is an anime that is in love with Western comic books. This is an anime that is a known fandom of that world, so I'm not saying that just because I'm a comic fan. It's actually in relation to the show, but everything about it really works for me. As a comic book fan, zealot, and as an anime casual, this is exactly the way to get me into more anime, so I'm really enjoying it. John Getz is a very wise man for starting me right here, along with having me watch some Dragon Ball Super, because Dragon Ball is my shit. Dragon Ball is what I grew up with, knowing Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are very much my thing. So this is really lovely, especially with Vegeta being the voice of All Might. So yeah, this second season, fourth quarter, very impressed. Love the tournament, love the character building, love that we got to have character building times 3 because the teacher and then the 2 students teaming up. I really enjoy the villainy being an undercurrent in this fourth quarter. The villain element was the big part of the third act and much of the second of season 2. But in this fourth quarter, since we're living within the school a lot more, since we're in UA a lot more, there's this cool like Emperor Palpatine element to what the villains are doing. Like a cabal is forming. We meet a couple new villains and everything's just kind of like bubbling under. So we know when it boils, it's going to be bigger. We also learned this season about all for one versus one for all. And I love that personally. I think inherently superheroes want to help everyone. And I think inherently villainy is selfish. So I love that all for one opposes one for all. I love that those things are the in and out of the very thing, and the names are so linear in that way. They tell you everything you need to know. It's very simple and it's genius. I'm a big fan. So that's what I thought broad strokes about this season. I took a lot of notes, so I'm going to get into my notes. Again, I would rate this quarter an A-, which is a very high rating for me with television. I watch a lot more movies than TV. Usually TV, it's really hard for me to commit to a television show. I've been doing 6-episode chunks for Mr. John Getz, and that means, I'm watching 2 hours and 10 minutes of, really good content that I usually wouldn't watch, and I'm not usually the type to watch this much television, so it's really impressive the show is this good. All right, let's dive in episode by episode. Ratings-wise, I usually talk about the ratings with box office, I guess Box Office Mojo is a rating in A form, but in IMDb, Google, Metacritic, and those things, but this is a show, so there's not a quarterly Rotten Tomatoes score. So what I've been doing is reading the individual episode ratings. So the episode ratings for this section of shows is, let's see, Listen Up, A Tale from the Past is episode 33. That's got an 8.0. A scotch low, but pretty much how I felt about it. Gear Up for Final Exams, a 7.6. That is lower than I would have given it. I like that episode. It's the one where they actually show who got what in the midterms and where the kids are categorized. I like that one. The next episode is, I don't know how to say this, Yoruzu Rising? It's the one where, the Keanu Reevesy teacher fights the Fire and Ice guy. That episode. I thought that was a great episode. I loved how empowering teamwork was in that episode, and I love that we finally see that girl's quirk used in a much more interesting way. The next episode is Stripping the Varnish. This one's a 7.7. It's a little low. I would have put that a little higher. That's the one with the guy that can talk to animals and the girl with the earplug ears teaming up. I would have put that a little higher, probably in the mid-8s. The crazy episode, the penultimate episode of the season, the Bakugou Origin episode, has a strong 8.9. That's where I'd put that, I think. That's about where I'd have that land. 8.9 seems about right. That episode's fantastic. Trapping Deku and Bakugou together is obvious but genius, and that's kind of what I mean about the show. Like, when it's not subverting expectations, it's subverting expectations, because you're like, oh, they're doing the thing they were going to do season 1, I thought, but here they are season 2 at the end. Okay, now it makes sense. So I really enjoyed that episode. And then the final episode, Encounter, is Deku / Midoriya. Everyone goes to the mall, and then he runs into Hands McGee without the hand being the altercation that happens, and that starts building up the villainy even further than the sprinkling that we got throughout the season. So I'm going to get into my notes where I have some of these characters' names written down, so I don't have to go by their nicknames. Hands McGee, Pants Face, Fire and Ice. I'm so bad with names, that's why I don't schmo down. I do not mean that in an insulting way to MHA fans. I'm a My Hero Academia fan now. I'm 2 seasons in. I can say it comfortably. I'm a fan of the show. I'm just bad with names. So I apologize. It's not meant in insult. It is meant in I'm bad with names and I love the show. Okay, into my notes. Diving in to episode 33. I'm just going to read the notes as I always do. This is your first Patreon review of mine. I take notes while I'm watching this stuff so I can remember all the things I liked or didn't like and dive right in. All right, episode 33. Old Clint Eastwood Gran Torino. Dude is just like Clint Eastwood, and he even has his name's Gran Torino. It worked for me. I love the captioning saying nag, 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 even though he was saying words. I watched this dubbed, by the way. I know that's also a problem for some, but I can't take notes while subtitles easily, so I do the dub, and I also like the voice actor for All Might a lot because he's Vegeta. And I've interviewed the most of the voice cast of the American dub, so I felt more connected to that. I've met like 9 of them, so I feel much more connected to the American dub because I've met them, I've interviewed them, plus the Vegeta parallel. So I'm personally a dub man, and even with the dub, there are inserts of dialogue at times visually, and I love that it said nag, 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 even while he was saying clearly words. It was funny to me. Deku confused by his not wanting the very thing he always aspired to be, a pro hero. I love that miscommunication and arc. I love that Deku doesn't understand how someone wouldn't want everything he's always aspired for. It's a great point of polarity in the superhero space. It's a great teacher-apprentice moment. It's a really great just arc for both of the characters. The I'm Deku screaming moment, like he's not Minoria, I'm Deku, he's the superhero, he's the guy. I love that that's how their relationship ends for that arc. A Tale from the Past, I'm guessing we're going to get some All Might stuffs. And then we did. Fighting Spirit with Zero Gravity, Intrigue. I like that whole setup of those two. The cool, I don't know what that means. The cool because of charm tenacity is a great conversation to address. How a villain can be cool because of their charm and tenacity. You know, we have hero worship for heroes and villains. There's a reason people like the Joker, and I think the reason that a lot of movies that have the lead be the villain or misinterpreted is because there's an inherent charm. There's an inherent, interest in these people because they're so interesting. Wolf of Wall Street, Joker, Fight Club. You know, Tyler Durden's the villain in Fight Club, and a lot of people don't get that. And I think that, Taxi Driver, villains can be interesting in their charisma, and that's a really cool thing to address in this show, especially so early on for how much farther the show goes. Think of their episode 88 of the show, and the movies. I don't know how the movies work. I don't know when the movies come in. Someone tell me in the comments or in the chat. I'm gonna try to check the chat at the end, but I don't understand where the movies go or how that works, but let me know. I am here. I'm just such a fan of All Might, man. Every line he's got, big fan. I am here. Rescue mission, defense versus offense, curious and clever. I love the defense versus all offense tactics in this first episode. Deku with the new skills, being able to use his powers at 5% and like all of his acrobatics with them, and I just love the everyone confused and his confidence and all that made me happy. Obviously it didn't work out, but I really enjoyed that. Deku taking all the best moves and crushing. That jump cut to face down. There's a great jump cut in the show where he's doing awesome, and then they jump cut to him on his face and someone else winning. Inspired. Very much enjoyed that comedy. One for All backstory, villain backstory, All Might backstory, that's what I was looking for. All for One stealing powers, does One for All utilize all powers, question mark? Emperor Palpatine big bad, God, the mindless living dolls, it's All Might's big bro, right? There's more to it. The family connection is very comic fantasy sci-fi, I'm into it. I still don't know if there's a family connection between All Might and the Hero Killer besides the fandom. I think Hero Killer is a Deku parallel. Like, I think those guys are like, if you go off the path and your obsession turns evil, if your obsession turns good, that's what I think it is. But I'm also curious if the guy that wields One for All for One, are related. Like, I wonder if All Might and the other guy have any relation. It could be, it could not be. I'm just on season 2. One for All versus All for One, names and message and backstory are great. What's the secret that he won't understand? Oh shit, the secret is that he won't be there when all this happens. We're clearly losing All Might. That's gonna crush me. I'm not ready, and that's great storytelling. All right, episode 34. Haha, yes, summer camp eps. Perfect. That's where I thought this was gonna go. I thought the rest of the season was gonna be done at summer camp. Boy, was I wrong. Ooh, using viral video for recruitment for people who feel the same and are ignorant and anxious and angry. Clever. Crazy how that works. Is Ida... Is 2 who's 1? Don't know what that note means. I wrote quickly. Oh yeah, Moma. Don't know her well yet. So Mamo, M-A-M-O, I think is her name. We don't know her very well. We just met her in passing. She's the number 1. Oh, that's the haha. There's the note. If Ida is number 2 in class, who is number 1? And then a couple minutes later, we get to who number 1 is. And we don't really know her yet. And then we get to meet her more in this arc. Again, that's the thing this show does really well with pacing. Is it introduces us to a character. Briefly, we kind of wonder about them, and then later on we get a full story, and that's so cool. We get to grow with these characters as we're revealed more and more. We find out she's a rich girl, the Great Hall, all of that stuff. I'm a big fan, so I'm digging all the new characters and how they're giving us them. Great Hall, haha. Bakugou and Deku back at it. I love their animosity towards each other. Well, it's one-sided, but I think Deku's eventually going to be done with his shit, maybe. I love the always listening Eraserhead character. Man, I want a Great Hall. Prep for test montage was on point. I always like a good montage. Look at all these costumes. The scene where the heroes and teachers face off, very, very cool. Big fan of all the costumes, that big spectacle shot. Of course it's students versus teachers. That's what I've been waiting for. I was very excited about. That's where the show is going. Bakugou and Deku forcing to team up. Yep, called that, expected it season 1. Really happy with it, holding off till season 2. Against All Might. That is a bit surprising. I am here to fight. Fucking love All Might. Pairing them up to spite the All Might relationship with Deku is smart, and I'm presuming it's to get Bakugou on a hero match, at least in the eyes of the audience. So Bakugou is often walking that line of villainy to the point where I'm like, you think it's going to kick him out of school? I think this arc was leading to us seeing him as a hero, which it did very, very well. 10 matches, of course, concluding with Deku and Bakugou against All Might. The nurse preparing for all this made me laugh. I love that the nurse was like, yep, this is going to go poorly. Gravity Girl's name always escapes me, but she's great. I want more of her. She's sprinkled throughout the last part of the season, but we don't get a lot of her. I'm hoping she's in more of season 3. Some scores will be higher for running me things if they're totally outmatched. Like, I think that some scores will be, you needed to get out of there, and that, of course, is what we end up seeing, but I like the idea that sometimes leaving is the better part of valor. Like, sometimes you're outmatched and you need to accept that, and I talked about that in the opening. It's just a really good concept for kids. Haha, Sugar Rush, and he gets dumb. What a power. Sugar Guy, I didn't know his stuff. Very funny to me. And I like that, like, he wanes with intelligence as he gets stronger and the sugar thing. Yep, he's wearing you down. Thought that was going to happen. Oh shit, the finale, the Jamie Madrox-like teacher is metal as fuck. This new guy with the trench coat, he's awesome. Dug all of that very, very much. That is episodes 1 and 2 of that season. I'm going to quickly see if I can look at the live chat. I can't see it on my phone. It is too small, so I'm going to see if I can get to it in the YouTube space to make sure nobody's asking anything that I may have missed. All apologies for viewers that watch this later. I am having some internet madness. Surprise, surprise. So far, I see a couple familiar names in the chat. That makes me very happy. What up, Michael McCarsell? Let me see if I can get this to load. Yes! Well, good news, Coy. As of now, All Might is still alive in both the manga and the anime. Good. Good. I see his art everywhere. I assume he's doing okay, but it's good to hear. Gorgonfish. The name is Momo. Got it. Thank you. Momo. Thank you, Gorgonfish. Michael said the movies are not technically canon. You can kind of put them into the timeline of the show, but the events of the movies don't really line up with the show. They're still fun movies, though. Oh, so is it like some of the Dragon Ball movies are like the Broly movies now are canon, like the Super, like Dragon Ball Super Broly I think is canon, but the OG Broly wasn't, or something like that. Is it like that? It's crazy how like such an expensive process wouldn't be technically in there. It's like the James Bond madness. Being late as a villain was a backdrop for Stain. Yes. A lot of people are fans of the Punisher too. Yeah, exactly. Punisher, not a good guy. Kills people. What is your theories about My Hero coming up? Will you think it was a spy? What is your theories about My Hero Academia coming up? Will you think it was a spy? I'm not sure what that means. I'm not gonna lie to you. Is there a spy? I have not assumed there is yet a spy. Yeah, teamwork is a major theme for the series. Aside from the top tier pro heroes, it's rare for any one quirk able to just deal with every situation. The kid have to work together to solve problems. Dig that, especially now that we're learning about the one for all and all for one stuff. That seems to be leading towards like powers teaming up and all those things. Very, very excited about that. And Michael, let's go. Honestly, these are probably my most anticipated reviews from Coy. Dude, fuck yeah, it makes me happy. And you and I are doing a watch-along of Jurassic Park next week. I haven't emailed you back yet, but we're going to be doing Jurassic Park. Michael wanted to watch Jurassic Park, and I am very for that. I don't know as much about Jurassic Park as I do like superhero movies, so it might be more of a reaction video with plenty of talking, but I don't like... I was obsessed with dinosaurs, but I don't know like as many movie facts. So it's going to be fun to do like a 2-hour movie that I have seen less than the Marvel stuff. It'll be fun. So yes, next week, Jurassic Park, either Tuesday or Thursday. Mr. Michael McCarsell and I have to chat. All right, more notes. That was episodes 1 and 2. Episode 35. Oh good, it's even a challenge for Bird Guy. Bird Guy has been very powerful. It's cool to see Bird Guy having to use some smarts and having to use some tactics. Bird-frog combo communication, love that. We were just saying in the chat how it's combo quirks, and we really see that in this episode. Convincing Bakugou is going to be the real fight. I thought we were going to get Bakugou way early, but in this case it is going to be like later on, and I did anticipate the conflict was going to be the major thing, and here we are. Close versus long range, all tactical. Dug that, especially for their power sets. Smart move. Frog Girl is actually growing on me. As you guys know, if you've watched my other reviews, the only two characters I really haven't enjoyed have been Frog Girl and Bubblehead guy, like Bubblehead. Frog Girl's starting to grow on me. I still fucking hate Bubblehead guy. Like I would enjoy this. The show would go from an A- to an A if they killed that character violently. I hate him. Just don't like him. What was my note? I got so angry at that character I can't stand. Dig the structure of this show, ending in yet another form of tourney, but all are so different. I'm enjoying that each arc allows for tournament-style fights, that we can grow the characters and grow the powers and grow all of those things. Big fan of that setup. Very smartly paced show. Oh shit, they did the giant Mysterio in the center of the arena bit. The Jamie Madrox guy turned into a giant version of himself in the center of a ring, just like Mysterio in the Spider-Man PS1 game. Made me real happy. That reference made me very happy. Oh shit, Dark Shadow can talk, at least in Bird Guy's POV. I don't think I've seen him talk, and I was very surprised to see the bird talk. And I was like, just wasn't aware of that kind of sentience. Frog for the cuff goodness. Oh shit, the Bird Shadow is super sentient. I'm learning so many things. Quirk, tail. Every time they showed the tail guy, it just says quirk tail. Always funny to me. That guy's entire quirk is tail, according to the bio. Always funny. Cool to see how heroes can easily slip into being villains in quirks and imagery. I loved seeing the pro heroes as villains in this context. They're fighting the students, but like you could easily see, and I wrote this note before we saw All Might, you could easily see how they could turn villainous. You could easily see those powers being used evil. You could easily see those costumes being malicious. Like, it's a really cool line they're walking, which the comics do as well, and I really enjoyed that. This arc especially doing that. That's the clever quirk to detect Eraserhead. Creating stuff until you can't create anymore will show when Eraserhead is close. That's some smarts. Obviously, we know Fire and Ice Guy is very intelligent. I really enjoyed that, and I also like where this arc goes. Russian nesting doll is a very funny one for me, and then it gets used very well. Communication is key, bruh, so is confidence. You need to build her confidence. He does not build her confidence. He just starts leading the way, and then we see what happens. Yo, that girl only being 15 makes that outfit really fucking gross. Yeah, at one point they say in this episode that like one of our characters is 15, and she has her tits out the whole show, and I just was uncomfortable. I did not like that. I hope it's a dubbing issue. I hope they meant older, but I guess they're in school, so I guess they're not older. 15, that's fucking gross. Didn't enjoy that myself. Just a note. I rarely have negative notes. That was a negative note. Hell yeah, confidence boost is a great strategy. Use them, nesting dolls. Love this girl getting the confidence to think and wanting to be the leader, wanting to have that. Like, and then she has a great idea. And that's an important humility lesson for Fire and Ice Guy, who's been under the thumb of his father the whole time. Again, everyone's nuanced character development. Every moment builds their character more. He's always had to be alone. He's always had to take charge. He shouldn't have in this case. Lesson for both of them. Her confidence, his humility. Brilliant! Flash grenades, follow her lead. The blink, love that because that's when he loses, and flash grenades making him close his eyes. Using both power sets, stay confident, smart, you got this. She's got a cool quirk, great episode, big fan of that character. That's where I was with all of that stuff. Those are my thoughts for episode 35. Okay, now between episodes is when I'm going to check the live chat. That makes way more sense. Exactly like that. Okay, so it is like Dragon Ball where the continuity is a whole thing. Awesome Prime OG. Whoa, Coy does one-on-one movie watch-alongs. Sign me up. My Patreon, I do watch-alongs. One of my Patreon tiers that Michael McCarcel is part of is usually it's like I give like 10 movies that I know well enough, and then we pick one. So we've done. We did Batman Mask of the Phantasm. We've done live action superhero stuff. We've done, I'm blanking on the ones we've done right now. The only one we had an issue with was Deadpool. It got taken down because of copyright stuff. We've done a few of them for the last 7 months. So you can sign up for that Patreon tier, but I also post them with the permission of Michael McCarcel to watch for free on YouTube. So I'm streaming live for everybody. So I discuss the movie with the patron, and then we stream live and I do a commentary. So check that out, Awesome Prime, at my Patreon. You're supposed to hate him. Good. I fucking do. Spidey says hi. He hates him too. I've never seen My Hero or most animes, says Awesome Prime. I've seen like 5, and I'm really liking this one. This is a really approachable one. It's on Hulu. I recommend it, Awesome Prime. If you like my content, you'd probably like this show. What do I think of the structure of the Hero Society in My Hero Academia? I think it really works. I think we're going to see more of it. I think I don't know enough of it yet to really believe in whatever inevitable downfall or corruption or whatever's going to come, because at some point all heroes must fall. But so far I really like the structure, I like the politics, I like the world we've built, especially season 2 part 3. The world building was really strong with that whole hero element. I've seen Howl's Moving Castle and other Miyazaki films. Yeah, I like Miyazaki as well, so I think you'd like this, man. I'd definitely recommend it. They're all 14 to 15. They're like the equivalent of high school sophomores. Unfortunately, it's a cultural difference. As a kid, it didn't really occur to me, but as an adult, the teenage girls in Cynthia outfit definitely makes me uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that element. I mean, of course they're in school. I just didn't put it together, and hearing it out loud made me feel gross. Episode 36, Gravity Girl, you got this. Offense instead of defense. She won with an offensive attack, but it seemed to be accidental, but then they alluded that it might have been serious, might have been intentional, might have been accidental. It looked like in the moment she was able to adjust tactics. I really want to see more of Gravity Girl. I honestly do think that is season 3. Would rather that have been more, but I guess we already like that character, so the pacing means we don't need to further build her up. Since we already like Gravity Girl, we don't need to build her up more, so I get the pacing. But the fact that she only had like 2 minutes of screen time, I was like, God damn it, I even wrote earlier I wanted to see more of that character. Can't wait to see what the little absolutely overpowered principal deal is. We've had this principal set up. His voice is adorable, he's adorable, he's very small, and I've been waiting to find out what his power is, and he's in this episode as the villain, all about it. The haha, why yes I am! That little character is dope. I was like, is he telekinetic? No, his power is chain reaction calculations. Basically, he's able to think ahead so far that he can cause he can see the side effects of his actions to such a level that he's able to cause like a domino effect. In this case, literally. Love that character. That's such a fun quirk. That hyper intelligence, so much fun. He left one escape route open. How malicious! But then I realized that all the heroes had to leave one option for the students to win. It makes sense, but it was really funny to hear him because it sounded so maniacal that he was like toying with them. Really dig this show, man. I dig this show. Oh shit, the DJ announcer has siren powers. That makes sense. Oh, they're intense siren powers. Going through his list of how he uses his powers was really fun. Also, the fact that we've met him for so long and didn't know his powers. I didn't even notice that we didn't know his powers. Again, great writing and pacing. Animal control guy, scared of ants. Her idea was really solid. I really love that the guy that controls animals is scared of some of them. That's funny. Ooh, canceling the sound is a cool idea. Yeah, I like the moment where the sound cancels out using the headphone moment. I was wondering if that's how they were going to defeat him, but I like the more team-up element of her idea and his power. That worked for me. Yeah, that worked, and ew, I get it. I would not want that attack with insects either. Gather that all for one, Deku. Man, I hate that Bubble Kid. Oh yeah, this is when I really started being angry. I hate that Bubble Kid. I hope he doesn't stay in the show. Maybe he fails right here and leaves the show. Man, I'd like that. I hope this kid fails. Why is he crying blood? How is crying blood caused by jealousy? That's fresh. I wrote a bad word, and I'm not going to use it, and I almost slipped and said it. That is dumb. That's the over-the-top nonsense that takes me out of this medium. I hate that shit. I really fucking do. It moves me out of the show. It like makes me angry, and I just hope that there's less of that. Like crying blood and over-the-top, like always crying, and the extreme emotions. For the show's so well written, you don't need that stupid shit. It's not necessary. Overall, great show, but yeah, that's dumb. Over here, rooting for this little dipshit to lose. That's not the point of the show. Well, maybe he'll die soon. Here it is, the big fight. Half of this notes are me hating that fucking character. But then again, I like all of the other ones, so I guess it's not too bad. Next episode is 37. Ooh, Bakugou Origins. I'm assuming they're only keeping Bakugou at school to try and prevent him from being a villain, because at this point he's walking that line. Alright, All Might as a villain is fun. I love that they're even aware that he's like a villain. The eye, like it's... No, they said, Michael, they said he's crying blood. They said it out loud. Watch the episode. Episode 36. They say it's red and it's streaming down his cheeks, and then they literally say he's crying blood out of jealousy. They say it out loud. It's not even like metaphorical blood. It's literal blood, and it's dumb. It's so dumb. It actually, his character dropped this fourth quarter from an A to an A-, like alone. I was so angry. It's just dumb. They said it. Check the tape. Bakugou Origin. I'm assuming they're only keeping Bakugou at school to try and prevent him from being a villain. All Might as a villain is fun. I love that they even call out that he's going to be, like he could be a villain. I like the single blue eye. I like his charm, kind of like we were saying earlier, how impressionable people are when things are cool. Loved all of those elements. Big fan of that concept. Hero Killer must be related. There's some sort of familial stuff with All Might. There's something family. The weakness of hero worship. Deku might be wrong here. I really like that they pointed out that Deku admiring All Might to such levels at his deficit. I really like that. That's one of the reasons I like The Last Jedi so much, is like hero worship is dangerous, destroy your gods, that whole concept, digging it. Yeah, this is going about as well as expected. Them fighting is the problem, but they've got to turn it around narratively, short term and long term. Like, they've got to learn to work together. They've got to not only learn to work together, but like for the show to proceed, like that's a really important element for Bakugou and Deku. Deku needs to learn how to grow up, and Bakugou needs to learn how to grow up in the other direction. Like, Deku needs to learn to be his own man, and Bakugou needs to learn to work with others. Love that they're conflicting in such a way. All this hero worship from young Bakugou too, and that was interesting. The flashbacks, Bakugou worshiping All Might, was genius. I love those flashbacks. The Deku powering up looked so cool this episode, his eyes glowing. It was like Super Saiyan, like the new Super Saiyan levels where their hair turns blue, reminded me of that shit. Bakugou was right about running, and he's been testing him. Oh wait, is he right about running? Interesting. Oh shit, Deku wielding his grenades. I loved when Deku was fighting with the weapons of the character, and I thought those weapons were the way he like emitted them. I didn't realize how much power he had without them, so I loved seeing him like with the grenade launch. That sequence of them teaming up using the weapons was so freaking cool. That was one of my favorite moments of this season. It was awesome. Offense and defense, yes. Why isn't he using his powers to run faster and get to the gate? I guess he was. It just looked like he was running slow, but that's also obviously for narrative function and pacing. Smacking Bakugou down with Deku's body. At one point, he like Loki's him, like when Hulk has Loki and just smash him around. He literally All Might smacks Bakugou with Deku's limp body, and it is hardcore. We really see how strong All Might is in this arc. He destroys half the city. It's very intense to see him as a villain. Is Bakugou gonna break himself with his powers, just like Deku, making them even more alike? There was one point when basically the powers that he was utilizing looked like they were going to break his arm, and I was like, oh, that'd be interesting if Bakugou, using his power to untether, does the same thing that Deku does with his powers untethered, and they alluded to that, and I love how similar they are, even though they're so different in their personalities. Offense, defense, take two. This time it looks to be working with the fight and run, and the Bakugou rescue is a nice choice. I love that Deku, again, has to save him, he has to carry him out. All of that works for both their arcs. All the damage to this city. All Might, man, All Might is a beast. Great show, just a great show. I just wrote down great show. Whoa, this new guy has a cool design. They got the peeled face. They got like the skin like attached to different parts of them. That warped burnt skin with normal center face and like hidden nose. That's a cool look. And I'm guessing a Harley Quinn type. We meet them at the very end of episode 37, and then we get into episode 38. Let me check the chat real quick. Michael says, oh, one of those sequences. Yeah, that and the absurd nosebleeds happen when anime characters are being purged. Yeah, that shit. What's the structure of the hero society where they base fame over actual heroics, and you think there's something inherently wrong with that? Oh, great question. Jermaine says, the structure of the hero society where they base fame over actual heroics, you think there's something inherently wrong with that? Yeah, I think that's going to be something that comes up as the show goes along, I assume, that like fame has merit. Like in our society, fame gets attention on subjects. It has, money benefits that you can like put your money towards charity, and like if you're a good person and you're famous, you can use the fame as a benefit. Like when I think of comic book shopping, I think of what comics this person will like and how cool that is that seeing Jake Gyllenhaal hold this comic will help that comic sell. That's the benefit of fame. That's a perk of the comic book that might be an indie selling more because of a person being famous. I think there are perks to fame, and I think that will be an element of the hero stuff, but it shouldn't be valued over actually being good at heroism, and that's where I think it's going to come up later. I don't know. I've only seen season 2. But I assume like the heroism is going to be more important to be heroic for Deku than it is to be famous. I assume that's the direction things are going. So far, I do see what you're saying, how that's a problem, and I just don't think we've gotten there in the story yet for where I am. What up, Jimmy? Comic Crooks Jimmy, hello. Based on someone saying you to set yourself for glory and fame. I think, basically someone saying you set yourself up for glory and fame. In Batman, the more he became extreme, the more extreme the villains have become. Do you see that happen in My Hero Academia? Yeah, I mean, I think that's anything. In Batman, that's reflecting our world. Like, when cops get guns, us in America having guns every fucking where causes more guns. With assholes inventing different forms of violence, then defense have to invent those, and then in retaliation they invent bullet-piercing rounds and shit, bulletproof piercing rounds. So I imagine in this society, the more the heroes show their heroism, the more the villains want to take them down. And they've talked about that a lot, about like, heroes' integrity. Like the hero killer is all about integrity of society. So I do think that's going to be an element. And I think Deku and the hero killer mirroring each other. Like Deku just wants to help at all costs. Hero killer, in his own twisted way, thinks that heroes are messing up society. So I do think that's going to be an element, and I hope that answers your question. I think we're on the same page. That's why I think we're heading. Final chapter, episode 38. Villain broker is interesting. I love the idea of a villain broker. Yeah, she's definitely a Harley Quinn type. Haha, portal fight. I love that the guy like stops them from stabbing each other and all that stuff. Very bar with no name moment, very comic book. Villain and season wrap up. Hell yeah, I love this pacing. This pacing of the show remains element. So next season is summer camp. Remember, and my first note was like, summer camp. We haven't gotten summer camp. There is no summer camp yet. By the way, I don't know if you guys can see, but this is a Joker and Batman surfing Hawaiian shirt. Proud of that. Eraserhead smiling is always great and all its weirdness. Logical deception. Everyone is going. I love that twice now they've said that you're going to fail out, and twice now we've thought that as an audience, and the students have thought that, and then twice now everyone stays because you develop these characters, so you want them to stick around. Logical deception. Great line. Big fan. Whoa, first time the song is in the episode. They played the theme song in the episode and it fucked me up. I was like, we're 5 minutes in. This isn't over. I know the show moves quick, but this isn't over. It was really funny to hear it in the middle of the episode. Shopping episode. I keep guessing how the episode's going to go, and I keep being wrong. I thought that was going to be like shopping montages and Gravity Girl and him being all cute, which is what they wanted us to think, and that's what it could have been, but no, twists. You're going to scare children. Deku freaking out by looking at merch so intensely. Very funny line by Ida. Very funny. You're going to get kidnapped. Midoriya, that guy is clearly a villain. Come on, bro. And then we see that it's Hands guy. No fun and fancy-free app. We don't get the fun shopping app. We get a very intense conversation. Idolizing hero killer has been a great subplot. Hand guy's jealousy is another great subplot. Love all the villainy stuff as well as the hero stuff. Nihilism versus purpose. Integrity of mission versus the hero's journey. Hands versus hero killer. All great arcs. And it ends with a villain level up. This show is excellent. Michael McCarcel agrees with me, saying that exactly, Deku truly wants to help people. That's what I think the difference between the other heroes and Deku is. That's why he's going to be the greatest hero as opposed to a good hero. He's going to be the greatest hero because he just wants to help, and I think that's what the show's about. I think escalation is an important part of any act structure. I think escalation is... Batman, I think, is the most linear, where they just say it. They're like, you did this, and now we got the Joker. But I think everything in fiction and nonfiction, cause effect. So this show, I'm sure we'll get there with that as well. It already is, but it's going to go bigger. And Deku is a fantastic character. All Might is a fantastic character. The show is, in fact, fantastic. This, again, was for the great John Getz. Thank John for this being the thing we dove into. A lot of people have been enjoying me watching My Hero Academia. If you want to become a patron yourself, then do that, and you can tell me to also watch My Hero Academia, and I'll watch it twice as fast, because I do 6 episodes per month. So if 2 of you are having me watch My Hero Academia, that'd be 12 episodes a month, which would mean I'd watch a full season in 2 months. It's an option. If you want to be a patron, that's totally a thing. Join that tier. Make it so. Also, as we talked about earlier, the watch-along, we're doing Jurassic Park next week for Michael McCarcel, who has been running this chat with the My Hero Academia love and knowledge. I will be doing a show tonight with the great Mai. My friend Mai is doing a show where she talks about Star Wars every week, and I'm going to be joining her over on Instagram. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, we're going to do an Instagram Live, and we're giving away a signed copy, photo of one of my friends. My friend Emma is going to sign and personalize a photo, autograph, I guess they call it. That's the word I was looking for. She's going to autograph and personalize a photo. Emma plays Dottie on WandaVision. She was on Buffy. Emma's awesome, so she's doing this for us. All you gotta do is follow me and Mai, tag 3 friends in our comments, and then post it to your story. Those 3 things. Follow, comment, put it in your story, tag us if you want to be entered into autograph and personalized, because we're just going to ask Emma to do it. She's going to do it. I'll take a picture of her signing it, so it's like proof of concept. For you, dear viewers. That is going on tonight at 7. The deadline to do all of that is in 15 minutes. The deadline for the entering into the thing is 5 p.m. PST, so you got 15 minutes to do that. I think I said Jurassic Park next week. New Koi cast dropped yesterday. Another new Coy-Cast is dropping next week. Tons of new stuff on the Patreon. Schmodown season starts right now. I've started filming stuff for the Schmodown. It is all on. I'll see a lot more of you guys in the coming weeks. I hope you're well. This has been fun. Thank you, John Getz. Thank you to all of my patrons. Thank you to Michael McCarsell for being a great patron and a great chat enthusiast. And I will see you all next time. If you haven't seen My Hero Academia, go do that. It's a good show. All right, much love, guys.